AI won't replace me. Who believes the third statement, it won't replace me because of, yes, very good. Quite a few people. All right. Stupid anti-intelligence crap over. Let's get serious about artificial intelligence. Modern ITSM. So let's start with AI itself. Is AI modern? How old is AI? 40, 70? Some of the theories behind AI are as old as 60, 70 years old. Goes back to machine learning, 1954. Ugh, that's a long time ago. Who here knows this Dutch company, bol.com or .com? Hey, very good. So bol.com, this is the first time I ever interacted with AI. I'm from Holland, if you didn't know. Bol.com, 2006, had a problem with a delivery. I go onto the website, start up the chat. I'm like, I'm going to shout at these people. Hey, Andy, how can I help you today? Yeah, I got a problem with this delivery. Oh, what's your delivery number? It took me 10 minutes to realize I was just talking to a chatbot. I'd heard all about this. I was going to meetups. I was learning from techies that were working for me. Oh, chatbots. That's all the latest stuff. I didn't even realize I was talking to a chatbot for 10 minutes. The best part, and that's where I'm not anti-AI, I definitely believe in it, is that it solved my problem, and I didn't even need to talk to a human. But better than that is what bol.com, where they were very, very smart, and other companies were not just online e-marketing platforms, but just companies in general. They didn't get rid of their first-line staff. They retrained them, offered them different parts of the business, et cetera, et cetera. So some went into second-line service management, so the service management improved for that company. Others just went and took different jobs within bol.com. Who knows why bol.com's famous in Holland? Because to this day, Amazon still can't overtake them when it comes to market share of e-commerce platforms, which is insane. And now with the rise of Temu, Alibaba, Shine, or Shein, people say it in different ways, Amazon still is not #1 in the Dutch market. And that, a lot of it comes down to their service management. So, who am I and who is the Fun Squad? Sorry, I'm going to repeat myself for the purposes of that amazing film crew over there. So, we are 3 massive nerds who work as consultants, and we have this life goal, changing the business world to create a world of happy humans. As I mentioned this morning, a lot of people are very, very miserable. Some people are now terrified. They're losing their jobs to AI. So when it comes to AI, they're definitely very miserable. What do we do and how do we do it? We focus everything on strategic growth. So increasing people's revenue, lowering their costs, profitability. And we do it all through cultural change. So what I didn't tell you this morning, so I'll tell you that now, because I get a little extra elevator pitch. Actually, what we mainly do is the cultural change. But in this day and age, especially, we're in like a 4th world recession in the last 15 years. People don't pay for cultural change, they pay for revenue. So we are cultural change experts, but we focus on strategic growth. Suze is focused on system of work, everything and anything to do with processes, products, tooling. Andy is commercial growth, so I'm very heavily focused on sales, partnerships, mergers and acquisitions, a lot of the money side. And then Theodora is marketing, websites, marketplace listings, SEO, anything that falls under marketing, especially social media. Every time she posts something about our social media growth, I'm like, geez, how do you do it? But let's get back to the talk today. This is very, very fun. I love meeting anyone who's spent more than 5 million euros the last few years investing in AI, and I like to tell them, oh, it's a good investment. All you're investing in is automation on steroids. And they're like, what? Ugh. And so I come back to one of these examples from way back when. I worked for this huge company called PTC, and they have an amazing product, very big. It has touched every single person's lives, laptops, this screen, that, et cetera, anything that gets produced. It's all about data and IoT. The story uses fictitious people to protect those who are embarrassed, but there is a customer for them called Siemens, and they are connected to the Kepware product, and they have additional modules, maintenance and data logger. Whenever there is a problem for PTC, they use, well, back in the day it was JSD, now it's JSM, and a ticket would be raised by Siemens. So, modern ITSM. This, logically, this ticket, it just goes straight to the techies responsible for data logger and maintenance, right? Correct? Yes? Right? No. Because techies do not want anything to do with an actual customer, and so the automation would first go to, for the purposes of this half-fictitious story, Theodora. Theodora would then assign the JSM ticket to one of those people, once you worked out which team it was, and they would have an utter meltdown. They could not believe that they had to talk to a customer, and they were absolutely horrified by this fact. And so what they would do is, back in the day, Stride, they'd give her the feedback and the update on what's going on, and she would have to put it in the JSD, nowadays it's JSM, the JSD ticket, and keep the customer updated. So, because of their fear of talking to a customer, it would take weeks before a customer got an update. And sometimes that update is, oh, that's a tricky one. It's going to take 6 weeks of R&D just to work out what's wrong. And then we're going to actually have to go and put it in the backlog. We're going to have to do the Scrum Poker. We're going to have to work it out. Months and months of delay. So, way before Andy intelligence. No, I'm just joking. So before AI really got going, what we just did was build very, 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 very smart automations using the Atlassian stack. So as you can see, Theodora is now quality manager in the bottom right corner. And we did something really evil. We built automation in such a way that JSM sent a ticket to Jira, to the relevant project that managed it for data logger and the maintenance teams, and made it look like Theodora was talking to the teams. It was the same old stuff. You have to do this, blah, blah, blah. They then have a Jira ticket in their backlog. They do this, they're doing the Agile Scrum, so they work out how much it's going to cost. They feed it back to her, they think. And it just goes to the JSM ticket and goes straight to the customer. So using only automation on steroids, this is some years ago, 6, 7. We now have techies talking to customers directly, but they don't realize it. Now, I don't have anything to give you. I'm so sorry, because I didn't prepare this presentation very well. But who can tell me what this is already? If you think today, modern ITSM, service delivery, some of you who went to Team 25 Anaheim, what does that sound like? Anyone know? Keep that question in mind. All right, let's jump to Atlassian and their big giant product, Atlassian Intelligence. So earlier with Lawrence, you saw this, right? Who remembers it? Everyone was paying attention in his presentation? Very good. It's very beautiful, it's very bright, it's very colorful. And because I'm not Atlassian, I get to say this, and all of Atlassian hates it when I do it. No one customer has this right now, right? This is very much the future. So you've got the Atlassian enterprise infrastructure, right? At the bottom, the base, the big stack. Then you get their huge teamwork graph. If you haven't seen the Team 25 Anaheim on-demand keynote, this is very cool. They talk about it a lot. And then on top of all of that beautiful data, as they say in Australia, is all of these platform apps. So Forge, Home, Goals, within Studio, and then Rovo sitting on top of it. And what that does is basically enable this beautiful diagram of many colors of the core products in the middle, Jira Product Discovery, and more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then, and here's the answer to my question earlier, is all of these cool people, the Rovo agents. So who here has ever played around with a Rovo agent? Not many people. All of you will like the last slide that I have for you in regards to Rovo agents. So Rovo, lots of heavy AI, lots of agents that are going to do the work for you, basically. And in this particular presentation, just a little bit of a focus on service teams and get you thinking about info and ideas to later take action. So Atlassian, the on-demand keynote from Team 25, I think this segment alone is about 15 minutes, so it's a big one. but we're going to speed through it very, very quickly. But it's definitely something to watch another time. So last year they did a report. 88% are already using AI to some degree in service management. If you think about my story, automation on steroids, who here has ever done something in their service management stack along that lines? Like you build cool automation to get stuff solved. A few people, very cool, very cool. Nowadays, a lot of the techies are using AI as much as possible because first, second line requests are actually nothing more than just the same old stuff. So you can send someone to the right documentation, you can answer their question about an order, whatever it is. Thumbtack is an Atlassian customer, and thanks to everything to do with Atlassian Intelligence, AI, and Rovo, they now have 15% of their ticket resolution is automated, and a CSAT score of 4.9 out of 5. Who here is monitoring CSAT within the company? Anyone? Anyone? You want to share your current score? Very nice, 4.2, awesome, admirable. So Forrester, if you believe these reports, I've worked for C-suite members, and I know how they get into these reports. So whether you believe them or not, so 30% of requests deflected, 55 minutes saved per incident, very important. And then the productivity benefits $5.9 million, thanks to using Jira Service Management. So back to Andy and his automation on steroids. How would I now do this completely different by using the Atlassian stack and everything that it offers? What's going on currently with organizations, you've heard the silo word a lot, is that they're also very heavily siloed. People don't know where to find their data. People don't know who to connect to, especially the bigger the organization they get, the more departments, the more teams, et cetera, et cetera. So everyone's heavily siloed. And that's what was going on in our scenario. People were siloed, many teams, lots of different products, et cetera. So what the Atlassian stack is now doing with this modern, the modern age of AI is bringing all of that together and connecting everybody, but going one step further as well. So not even looking like silos, it should just be one big loop. It should just be everyone together. You should be able to connect with the right colleague at the right time with the right data. And that's what this is enabling, and that's how I would approach it differently. So my scenario, everything that we had built with the automation on steroids, we now want a Rovo agent. In particular, this slide says dev agents, so create your code plans, generate code, and review PRs. And if you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Tomorrow, there's an Atlassian presentation on this very subject. So I highly advise you to go to it tomorrow. I'm not going to talk about Rovo agents anymore. So Atlassian's very cool because Mike and Scott back in the day, they were the customer support team when it was just them. And then a few employees came on board, and they went to 10 employees and 15, and it expanded. But they, back in the day, were the ones doing everything. And customer support is sometimes a really thankless job. It is often very heavily, not even siloed, just forgotten about and put in the corner, right? So in this way, the teamwork graph becomes very, very important in connecting everybody. This is definitely something, if you have never heard of it before, if you have no idea what Atlassian is talking about, it's really cool to go out and check, deep dive into the subject matter, because it is connecting everything and everyone. Through Rovo, it's not just the Atlassian stack, it's going to connect you to Figma, it's going to connect you to Slack. Anywhere that you have a data entry, data point, or a data object in existence, especially for customer service, this is where the teamwork graph is going to become very, very valuable. So that's service teams, that's Atlassian. What they have done as part of covering everything and anything to do with service management is introduce, and I hate this term, I even said to them, why have you done this? Because customer success management is the official CSM of the world. Customer service management, brand new announcement at Team 25 Anaheim. And basically, support cost savings $10 million, and an improvement in CSAT scores of plus 6%. So, sir, to your point of 4.2, then you'll be able to go up to 4.45 the next time you do your CSATs if you're using Atlassian Customer Service Management. Now, if anyone is wondering, grab your phone, grab your camera, Here's the QR code that will take you directly to that so that you can have a look and be intrigued and wondered. I see some people grabbing it, so I'll wait a moment. All right. Okay. Who was here this morning? So you all know what's coming. Everyone stand up. Everyone, stand up. Let's go. Let's get the legs moving. Stand up. Okay, pro tip for presenting, never do the same thing twice. So everyone sit down. Everyone sit down. I caught you out. Ho ho. That's why they call me Fun Man. All right. Info and ideas are great. Action and results are better. Here's a really simple action for you, right? You can do it immediately in the next 24 hours because the only action I want you to do is come tomorrow. There's a good friend of mine, Darryl Lee from Atlassian, amazing guy. Social engineering, all that jazz, very, very smart. He is officially a solutions engineer. And tomorrow, 10:20 a.m., he's going to be presenting everything about this Rovo. So hopefully, my presentation piqued your interest about service management and how that's all going to work in the age of AI. And tomorrow, I'd love to see you all, 10:20 a.m., listening to Darryl about that Rovo and how it's going to boost your return on investment. And for those of you who love attending community events, as a community champion, I also do that in my free time for Atlassian, I'm helping Darryl and the solutions engineering team bring hands-on Rovo workshops to Europe. So in the coming 6 months or so, if you really want to learn more and you really want to get to grips with it, you don't have to do it alone because Atlassian will help you with those hands-on workshops. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you all very much.
A big round of applause for Andy.